What's up, guys? I feel like I'm in the middle of a flashlight war, and it's the best place to be ever. I love it. I love flashlights, and I keep getting all these really cool flashlights to test out, and this is the Nitecore Concept 2. This is a flashlight that can take it from literally one lumen, up to 11 really fast. Let's check it out. So here we are with a brand new flashlight. This one is from Nitecore and it is called the Concept 2. And really, this thing is impressive. It is, okay, it's bigger than all the other flashlights that I've reviewed or looked at so far, but it's also much, much brighter. This flashlight can put out 6,500 lumens, which is ridiculously bright. It is insane. It gets hot very fast. That warning, heed that warning, because this flashlight will overheat very quickly. Not overheat, but it'll get so hot that it's kind of uncomfortable to hold and use. But yeah, this thing is a tank. It's a beast, and rightfully so. Nitecore calls it a super bright, compact, rechargeable flashlight. And to be fair, it is all of those things. It is compact for what it is. It is super bright and it's rechargeable, but we're gonna dive into a couple of those things and talk about some things I like and things I do not like. So let's do this. First, let's talk about what's in the box. You get this. This comes actually on it. It's a little neoprene wrist strap with a cinch. And I took it off almost immediately and I can't get it back on because the hole for this wrist strap is very, very tiny. You can see it right there. You also get this holster, which is pretty heavy duty. The hook and loop is really, really strong. You can probably hear how strong that hole is. So you have a little belt loop here, and then you have this to attach to things. Again, don't see myself using this, mainly because it does have a built-in pocket clip. We'll talk about the pocket clip later. And then you also get a charger. And this is one of my least favorite things about this flashlight. Actually, one of the only negative things I have to say is this. It is 2018. We do not need these anymore. We have things like USB-C. It might cost a little more, but you're already charging so much for this flashlight. Splurge a little and give us a flashlight charger that we're not gonna have to keep up with. Like this, I'm gonna lose this and I'm not gonna be able to charge this flashlight. I don't want this. I want USB-C or even micro USB, but USB-C in particular. And I'm going hard here because this flashlight right here, which I reviewed recently, the R50 Pro Seeker, it does have a proprietary charger, but it works off USB and it's magnetic. So it's got a little cool factor that I can give it a little pass on. This is just straight out of the 90s, man. And the last thing you get in the box is a replacement for the button and the plug for the charger. All right, let's talk design. Obviously, this flashlight does not have a design you see very often in flashlights. It's rectangular. And originally I thought that would be crap for the ergonomics, but I was wrong. It actually feels okay in the hand. Not amazing, but it feels good in the hand. The button's in a good place. And it does not feel as bad as I thought, but there's a hidden advantage to having this shape to a flashlight. You can sit it almost anywhere and it's not gonna roll away on you. The flat sides keep it from rolling away, and that's awesome. If you've got a shelf or something you're working and you need free hands, you can sit this flashlight somewhere on its side and point it where you need it. And it is a little smaller than I expected. I said the same thing when I reviewed this flashlight, the R50 Pro Seeker from Olight. This was smaller than I expected. This thing is not much bigger than that. Obviously it's bigger in diameter, but length it's actually shorter. It's only 4.43 inches long, that's 112 millimeters, and the sides are 1.6 inches or 40 millimeters, and it's square, perfectly square, so it's actually pretty compact. It is a little heavy though. It's 12.28 ounces, that's 348 grams, so it is pretty heavy, and honestly, this is bigger than I would want to carry in my pocket or EDC in any sense, and for most people I think that's probably true, unless you're maybe in law enforcement or something like that. And of course, like a lot of flashlights, this is a black anodized aluminum, and it does have this really sturdy pocket clip built into it, and this is what I use more than a holster, really on anything. If you've got a pocket clip, I'm probably going to use it. They recommend using that holster with your belt, but I've been clipping this to my belt, like on my back. If I want to take this with me outside and I don't want to have to carry it, I clip it to my belt and I head out. And that would be how I would carry this if I were camping or something. That's probably going to be my primary purpose for a flashlight like this, is camping. And something like this, you have to have that holster. So if you don't bring the holster or lose it or whatever, then you've got to hold this light. With this one, if you lose the holster or decide to leave it at home, you still have a secondary way to clip it. For me, that's the primary way. You also have these jimping-like or knurling-like notches on the four corners, and I don't think that's really for grip because it's not in the right place for grip. Nobody's going to grip it there. Your thumb's going to go here, or your other fingers are going to be on a flat side, not on the corner. So I think it might help reduce some of that heat. It's right there where the heat's going to be coming down, and I think it's there to just kind of taper off some of that heat before it gets to where you're actually going to hold the flashlight. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it is because the light gets super hot up above these. Below, it does definitely get significantly cooler. You can still feel the heat, but it's much, much cooler behind those notches. I could be wrong though, I don't know. So as far as design goes, this flashlight is a little bit weird, but it's not that bad. It grew on me really quickly, the rectangular design, because you do get the added benefit of having those 6 flat sides and it not rolling away on you. But there are 2 things that I wish were a little different here. One, obviously, the proprietary charger. I might be going a little hard on this for that, but man, it's so easy to just use something like USB-C these days. Why not do it? The other thing is this little flat surface on the butt of the flashlight here. It's a wasted opportunity to not have a super strong magnet there. If you can have it flat on any other surface, having that magnetic base only increases the utility of this flashlight, the number of places and ways that you can mount it to use hands-free. And that's just a huge wasted opportunity. Let's move on to the nitty-gritty. The specifications of this flashlight: it's powered by 4 Cree XHP35 HD LEDs. Those produce up to 6,500 lumens together, with a maximum beam distance in optimal conditions of 435 yards. That is a massive throw and a lot of light output. Again, like I said at the beginning, that's not the brightest flashlight out there. That I think currently is 35,000 lumens, which is bonkers. But this, for it to be this size and put out 6,500 lumens, is nuts. It truly, truly is nuts. So the Concept 2 has 5 different brightness levels, and ultra low at just 1 lumen is the lowest of those, and it can run for 2,000 hours on the inbuilt 12,400 milliamp hour battery. The next step up from that is 285 lumens, and it can run for 16 hours or up to 16 hours. Medium is 1,000 lumens. Your runtime for that is approximately 6.5 hours. High is 2,500 lumens with a runtime of 1.5 hours. And turbo, the maximum is of course 6,500 lumens with a runtime of 30 minutes. So there you go. Those runtimes are pretty damn impressive. 2,000 hours on low, obviously it's just 1 lumen, but 16 hours at 285 lumens, 6.5 hours at 1,000 lumens, those numbers are crazy. The last few things to note is this is impact resistance for up to 1 meter, and it's IP68 certified for water resistance, which means it can be submerged for up to 2 meters for 30 minutes, and it should be okay. So there you have it. Those are the specs. So turning it on is pretty simple. Just click and the light is on, and then half presses will cycle you through all the brightness modes all the way up to turbo and then back down. With the flashlight on, if you half press and hold, you get to turbo mode automatically. And then also if the light is off, you can get to turbo mode by pressing all the way, hearing the click and holding, and then turbo mode comes back off when you let off. To get to turbo mode full time as a continuous on, you'll have to just cycle to it. But the flashlight does have memory, so you can get back to your last brightness setting every time you turn it on. To get to the special modes, as you can see I have the light on, you have to have the flashlight on, and then it's a press and hold all the way, and then half presses will cycle you through strobe, SOS, and the beacon mode. And then clicking will turn the light back off. As far as interface goes, that's pretty much all you need to know other than the lockout mode. Lockout mode will keep the flashlight from turning on when you don't want it to, from bumping it or something, which is very necessary with this flashlight. So to turn on the lockout mode, you half press and hold with the light off. It will flicker for just a second, and then when you press the power button, it will flash blue to let you know that lockout is on. To turn it off, you have to press all the way and hold, so you'll hear the click, and it will flicker again, and then the light is on. So that is lockout mode. So the only thing left is price, and that's gonna be something that I think is gonna hang people up on this flashlight. It's not cheap, it's $200. But for that, you are getting a very small flashlight that is also very, very bright. And I think for those people who need something specifically like that, this flashlight does fit the bill. But again, I want to reiterate for the millionth time, this flashlight gets super hot. So you're only going to want to use that 6500 lumens very sparingly because it gets so hot. Nitecore recommends only using it for a few seconds at a time for, just blasting light into something as you look for it. But yeah, and in most of my cases, it's overkill. It's super, super bright, and the 2500 lumens is plenty for most of your use cases of this flashlight. 6500 lumens is insanely bright. There you have it. That is the Nitecore Concept 2, a completely bonkers flashlight, and I think it's pretty cool. This is going to be probably my go-to camping flashlight right now, just because it could probably last through an entire weekend as long as I don't use turbo too much and the high mode too much. I can probably last 2-3 days with ease on the medium, low, and ultra low modes. And if you like this flashlight, let me know in the comments down below. If you think it's ridiculous and overkill and nobody should ever have it, let me know in the comments down below. And if you like videos like this and want to see more, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below. But this is the Nitecore Concept 2. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful and you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future, and hit the notification button so you're notified as soon as I upload a new video. And if you like this flashlight, I know it's not cheap, but if you like it and want to check it out or any other Nitecore stuff, there is a link in the description down below. If you click that link and you purchase anything, I get a little bit of a kickback. Helps me out. You don't pay anything extra. It's just a way to support me through getting the things that you're going to get anyway. So thank you guys. If you want to find us around the web, you can find the channel on Twitter and Instagram at bestdamnedc. You can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at Casper Tech. And my second channel is Modern Outdoor Dweller. It's linked down below, but you can find it on Twitter and Instagram at Mod Outdoor. With that said, and until next week, carry on.